The top stories this week are the basketball team officially starts its season, the soccer and field hockey teams are getting a new field, and we sit down with Matt Dahl.
All that and more on this week's edition of Rider Sports Corner.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Rider Sports Corner. I'm Olivia Hoff.
And I'm Tom Malachi. Let's get right into the show. After all that's happened to the Raiders, you have to wonder why anyone would want to take a head coaching job in Oakland. But that's exactly what Jim Fassel wants. Fassel, who hasn't been a head coach since 2003 when he was fired by the Giants for Tom Coughlin, sent a letter to Raiders owner Al Davis to effectively throw his hat into the ring of potential head coaches for the 2009 season. Fassel, who led the Giants to a Super Bowl appearance, would be a welcome addition to a Raiders coaching staff in upheaval after Lane Kiffin's firing and subsequent lawsuit, Tom Cable's appointment of interim head coach, and now news of offensive coordinator Greg Knapp being relieved of his play-calling duties. The Jets are welcoming back Ty Law, who played for the team 3 seasons ago. The 5-time Pro Bowl cornerback practiced with the Jets after passing his physical and signing a 1-year deal to rejoin the team. To make room for Law, New York released ex-Pro Bowler Justin Miller, who is now 34 years old. Law was quoted as saying, "I'm just happy I got another opportunity to come up here and play and help this team." Law will be wearing a new jersey this season, taking number 22.
Kirk Hinrich of the Chicago Bulls will miss up to 3 months with a torn ligament in his thumb. Hinrich was hurt in his first start against the Phoenix Suns this past week. What was initially diagnosed as a sprain was downgraded to the torn ligament, which will require surgery. Hinrich said he was frustrated after having worked hard all preseason to now sit out 12 weeks to recover from his surgery. The injury leaves the Bulls with a leadership void, which will likely be filled by first overall draft pick Derrick Rose. The men's basketball team was on the road this weekend. Kelly Dixon has the story.
I'm here at the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where the Rider Broncs are gearing up to play the St. Joe's Hawks in their season opener. Rider opened up the game by going on a 9-0 run, and everything seemed to be going their way. However, St. Joe's would claw their way back into the game and take a commanding lead in the second half. Coach Tommy Dempsey was proud of the energy and work ethic his team showed throughout the game.
I was proud of the way our kids fought. We knew we were coming up here shorthanded, and not to make any excuses, but we knew we had to compete extremely hard to stay in the game. We certainly weren't perfect. It looked like our first game out there. We were sloppy with the ball at times and had too many turnovers, but we had a will with us.
Hawks head coach Phil Martelli spoke after the game about being down early to Rider and how his team was able to turn things around in the second half.
I think the experience of our team being a little bit older, we were able to deal with being down 9-0. I was really pleased with the start of the second half. I thought we really kind of established ourselves.
Coach Martelli said a key to containing Rider was stopping Ryan Thompson. Thompson said it wasn't the Hawks' defense that slowed him down, but his own play in the game.
They weren't doing anything particular, but coach was telling me all throughout the game just to be more aggressive, and I just went into the game too lackadaisical and just trying to let the game come to me instead of coming out and being aggressive and start the game off.
Harris Mansell suffered an arm injury during the game, and Dempsey said this had a deflating effect on the team.
I thought that took the energy out of us a bit early in the second half. I think that there was certainly some concern just because of how tough Harris is. To see him laying on the floor, I thought took a little energy out of us. I think we have to be more mature than that.
Rider was predominantly short-handed throughout the night, but Ryan Thompson said the team practiced well leading up to the game, and injuries were not an excuse for the loss.
I don't really think it would make too much of a difference because the guys that we had out there, usually we got a lot of reps in practice and everybody was comfortable with how everybody was playing. The lineups that were in there, we did a lot in practice with, we felt comfortable with Matt at the point guard and all the other guys that helped contribute.
It was a loss here in Philadelphia for the Broncs, but it's only the first game of the season. You can catch them on their home court on Saturday, November 29th at 3 p.m. For the Rider Sports Corner, this has been Kelly Dixon.
Here at Rider, the soccer and field hockey teams are getting a brand new synthetic field. Our own Patty Wittenberg met with Don Harnum to find out more.
Today I had a chance to meet up with Don Harnum, the Director of Athletics here at Rider. He was able to sit down with me and tell me all about the plans for renovations on the new backfields.
Well, the whole concept is something that I have been pushing since I've been in this office as the Director of Athletics for the last 3 years. More and more schools, our level, are going to turf fields for the obvious value that you can't wear them out. They're a consistent surface. If you light a turf field, you can extend the play on it. And it's very hard to maintain grass fields in the Northeast. So I think it really helps a lot of our sports. And the reality of it is more and more high schools are starting to put in turf fields, and those same high school athletes are going to become our athletes, and they have those expectations that you're going to have these kind of facilities. So it's so obvious that we need to get in this game, to maintain a competitive edge.
Don Harnum told us what the new field will mean for Rider Athletics in the future.
Well, it's one field, and basically we are replacing the current soccer game field with turf and lights, and both field hockey and both men's and women's soccer will be our primary athletic users, although the fields will also have a positive impact on club sports, intramural sports, and what people don't talk about, I think it will also have a positive impact on our baseball and softball programs, particularly in late February and early March, where their fields are either still snow-covered or wet.
Harnum mentioned how the team's overall records get weighed when deciding to create a new field. He also told us some other renovations Rider has made in order to keep up with other Division I teams.
How the teams did in one current year is really not a factor. I look at more of the big picture of, and I've said this from day one, we're Division I, we have to act like it, we have to support our teams like it, we can't shy away from it, and Division I teams deserve first-class facilities. If you look around what has been done in the last couple of years, we enhanced our Hall of Fame display, we enhanced the varsity weight room to make that a pure Division I facility. We renovated both our baseball and softball facilities, which made them competitive with any school in the Northeast. And the goal is both, to do that for field hockey and both of our soccers. And I really feel confident that we're heading in the right direction.
The tentative finish date for the turf fields are 2010, but the new parking lot that they are constructing right now will be completed by this winter. This has been Patty Wittenberg reporting for the Rider Sports Corner.
Tom Brady fans should be happy now that he is playing with the New England Patriots after injuring his knee. Brady injured his left knee in the first quarter of the season's first game, ending his ability to play for an extended period. He underwent surgery in October to repair the injury and then had another surgery after the knee became infected. Defensive end Jarvis Green said it's good to see him around, hanging out and smiling. Matt Castle replaced Brady during his recovery period. Charlie Weis is not on the hot seat, at least not until the end of the season. That's what Notre Dame Athletic Director Jack Swarbrick said this past week, adding that there has been no consideration so far as to a coaching change for the struggling Fighting Irish football team. Swarbrick was very positive on Weis, saying that he has made improvements over what happened last year and has nothing but the utmost confidence in Weis. He also added that he saw no reason why Notre Dame can't make it back into contention for a national championship.
Evan Longoria and Giovanni Soto have something to be proud of this year. After a unanimous vote, Longoria won the American League Rookie of the Year award while Soto clinched the NL honor. The awards bring an end to a season that also included all-star appearances for both players at Yankee Stadium. Second baseman Alexi Ramirez of the Chicago White Sox was the runner-up, receiving 18 second-place votes. The NL Cy Young Award winner was announced this past week. No, it's not CC Sabathia, it's not Brad Lidge, it's not even Brandon Webb. San Francisco Giants pitcher Tim Lincecum has won the coveted award. Lincecum received 23 of 32 first-place votes and 137 points in balloting by the Baseball Writers Association of America. The runner-up, Brandon Webb, only received 4 first-place votes and 73 points in balloting. Lincecum was first in the NL in winning percentage and second in ERA.
Is there a trade deal on the horizon between the Oakland Athletics and the Colorado Rockies? Baseball sources have said that a possible deal between the teams could send Matt Holliday to the A's, although terms have not been agreed on yet. Oakland pitcher Greg Smith, who was 7-16 with a 4.16 ERA last season, is also said to be part of the deal. With Brian Fuentes about to leave the Rockies through free agency, the team is in need for late-inning relief. Oakland's assistant general manager, David Forst, has said it's still an ongoing discussion. Our own Tom Malachi caught up with senior co-captain of the cross-country team, Matt Dahl.
Thanks, Olivia. Matt, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
All right. So could you just start off by talking about your role on the cross-country team this year?
Well, this year I was the captain, and for the guys, it was definitely a young team. I'm the only senior on the team, so it's a little different than the teams I've been on in my 4 years here. We have 2 juniors, 3 sophomores, and then there were 4 freshmen. So it was a small team right off the bat, so I knew I kind of had to show them what we needed to do in order to find some success. So it was really not so much being a leader by example, but trying to make sure everybody was on top of what they had to do. Every day we showed up to practice, and then especially when we got to the times the meets were getting there, and when we showed up to those meets, we had to go in with a certain attitude, a certain focus to be able to accomplish things this season.
Now, you mentioned that the guys and girls are both kind of the same kind of unit. You know, they're all together. Are those the same kind of leaders participate for both the guys and the girls, or are there separate leaders for each side, or is it just a collective leadership council, I guess you could say, of your experience and the other captains?
Well, yeah, I say we all work together. There's definitely points where it's a little separate because when you do get to the meets, the girls race an hour earlier, or the guys race an hour earlier. But for the girls, they have captains Meg Crow and Kelly Wojciechowski. They're both seniors as well. And for the 3 of us, we've been together for all 4 years. So there's definitely we're definitely on the same page, I guess. And we always try to keep, because with Rider Cross Country, it's one main focus. We have the same coach, Coach Hamer. He was actually just appointed head coach for the track and field program as well. So everybody's on the same page. We're all looking to achieve the same success for this program, which has been coming a long way since I've been here. Now,
You're graduating this year as a senior. Is there anything you can specifically look back to in your 4-year career here at Rider University that you personally hold above all else of your moments?
Well, last year for the guys, when we came in 14th at the regional meet, that was incredible. Coming in the top 15 was something Coach Hamer always stressed to us. And for us to achieve that last year, it was awesome. And those were the guys who were seniors last year that recruited me to come to the school. So that was just a great experience to have. And then this year we came up short. We came in 5th at the MAC meet, and we were hoping to come in top 3 again. But it happens in this sport. The breaks are always so close. But at the same MAC meet this year, watching the girls come in 2nd was great for me, especially to see 2 seniors, Meg Crow and Kelly Wojciechowski, come in 7th and 8th and placing all MAC the way they did. It was awesome. I mean, those 2 have worked so hard, and the entire girls' programs worked so hard in the 4 years, and they've really turned the corner, and that was fun to watch from a spectator aspect.
All right. Well, Matt, I'd like to thank you very much for a great interview.
Thank you.
And now we'll throw it back to Olivia.
The Rider cheerleading team has been hard at work this season. Patty Wittenberg reports.
Hi, this is Patty Wittenberg, and I had a chance to meet up with the Rider cheerleaders. They told me what it was like to be a cheerleader and how to become one.
For those of you who are unaware of what goes into the art of cheerleading, let me break it down for you. First of all, there's a flyer. The flyer is the individual that is pushed or thrown into the air. They usually perform stunts. The flyers are supported and assisted by bases and front spots and back spots, who are responsible for getting the flyer up into the air and back down safely during the stunts. The entire team participates in dancing. Just like any other team, the Rider cheerleaders have a very strict practice schedule. Coach Sherry Voorhees-Carcacci told me what is expected from her cheerleaders.
We practice 3 days a week, 2 weeknights and Sunday afternoons. The team also is required to work out in the fitness center at Mauer with the strengthening and conditioning coach, Jerry Green, 2 days a week in season and 3 days a week out of season.
Kim Christie, one of the team's co-captains, told me a little bit about what goes into practicing for a game.
We practice basically on what we're going to do at the game, the night before the game, and then the other practices when we don't have games is just making up new routines for the other games.
Shea Bastido, the team's other co-captain, explains their cheer routines.
We normally try and plan about 10 because we do anywhere from 3 to 5 per game, and we want to rotate them every game so we don't do the same ones for everyone.
Now, cheerleading is not just for girls either. The Rider cheer team is made up of 23 students, 20 female and 3 male. Bass Duncan Mayer explains what it is like to be one of the guys.
There's a lot of love. There's a lot of love coming our way for sure. It's fun. I mean, people are pretty surprised. I mean, all of us play other sports. All of us, you know, we're like known for different things before this, and now it's kind of our identity. But it's really fun. I mean, the response has been really positive.
It's true, a lot of hard work and dedication goes into cheerleading, and the Rider cheer team is no exception. The team came in first place last year in the 2007 National Cheerleading Competition in Albany, New York, and they hope to compete more this year. If you'd like to try out, the team will be holding an open audition in the spring. For the Rider Sports Corner, this has been Patty Wittenberg.
A player like Allen Iverson doesn't usually get excited over a win against the lottery team. But after losing his first 2 games after being traded to the Detroit Pistons, his team win was a victory to celebrate. Iverson had 30 points, 9 assists, and helped the Pistons win at 100-92 over the Sacramento Kings. Iverson said, quote, "It was a huge liftoff of me. I knew it would happen." Antonio McDyess is slowly taking the steps he needs to in order to once again join the Detroit Pistons. McDyess, who was traded to the Denver Nuggets in a package for the Pistons to acquire Allen Iverson, was waived by Denver after his contract was bought out for an estimated $6 million. McDyess has cleared waivers and is waiting about a month from when all conditions of the trade were satisfied. Though McDyess could sign with any team of his choosing, the Pistons are the heavy favorite to reacquire the 34-year-old power forward.
And now it's time for the Rider Recap. Well, that's all we have for you this week, Rider. I'm Olivia Hoff.
And I'm Tom Malachi. Have a great week.